Tes, tes. Halo. Halo. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Don't forget to turn on your video. Okay, I want to remind you one more time. Don't forget to turn on your video. You listen to me, right? Tulia Dinda, Nurlaila Hilda, please. Gizi Alfred, Agung Budi Prasetyo, not Agung Budi Prasetyo. Erlangga Maulana, Firly Adinda.
It's me, sir. How are you?
All right, sorry, thank you. I think you are a student, mister, so sorry.
No problem.
So you are watching.
Okay. Time is
Alright,
yours.
thank you.
Please.
Okay. Okay, now, students. Okay, now, sorry, don't forget to turn on your video, please, all of you. Muhammad Fahrul, Asberg, Erlangga Maulana, Firlia Dinda, Intan Ratnasari, already. Kartika Widyadari, please turn on all of you your video. Okay. How's life, everyone? How's life? Apa kabar? How's life today? Are you good? Do you feel good? Are you feel good? Huh? How's life today? How's your feeling today?
Not bad, sir.
Not bad? All right. Okay, me too. Not bad. Okay, I want to recall before we begin our lesson today. I want to recall our last meeting. I want to ask you maybe cara acak ya, one by one, to make sure that you understand what we already learned in the last meeting, in the last week. Okay? Maybe for the first one, I want to ask Mr. Erlangga Maulana. Erlangga Maulana. Anybody home? Erlangga Maulana.
Iya, Pak.
Erlangga Maulana hadir ya. I want to ask you about our last meeting. Mr. Erlangga.
Ya.
Can you turn on your video? That's good. You looks very handsome. You looks very handsome. Okay, that's good. Okay. Please answer as well as you can, as good as you can, where the English exactly come from.
My come from.
No, where the English exactly come from. English, where the English exactly come from.
I think English come from British.
Okay,
From
that's British.
yeah.
Okay. Mr. Erlangga said that English exactly comes from British, which is English come from British. Okay, thank you, Mr. Erlangga. How about Miss
Okay, no
Intan
problem.
Ratnasari? Thank you. How about Miss Intan Ratnasari?
English
What do you think?
adjective come from West Germany.
What?
West
Sorry,
Germany.
West Germany. West Germany. All right. Okay, thank you, Miss Ratna ya. Intan Ratnasari. Okay, now we'll go to Mr. Baharu. What do you think about their answer, Mr. Ahmad Baharu? Mr. Erlangga said that English exactly comes from English itself, which means British. And Miss Intan said that English comes from West Germany. What do you think? Are their answer correct? Is their answer correct? Hmm?
Maybe come from American, sir.
American.
Yes.
No, no. I just to make sure that another answer, from Miss Ratna ya and Mr. siapa tadi? Erlangga. They said that English come from British and Miss Ratna said that English come from West Germany. What do you think? Which one their answer are correct? Which one their answer correct?
British, Mister.
British.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Siapa nih? Ahmad Baharu. Okay. Okay. We can conclude that English is exactly comes from British itself. Yeah. Come from British itself, not from West Germany. West Germany is German itself. They have their own language actually. But thank you for all of you. Okay, now we go to Miss Zulfa Malika ya. Okay, Miss Zulfa Malika. Can you turn on your video?
Sorry, sir. Cannot open the camera.
Why? You are still outside home? Or you are in the office? Okay, it's okay, but I want to ask you, what is language itself? What is language means? What language means? What language? Okay, please.
Language is
Sorry, Miss Zulfa Malika. I can hear your word. I can hear your word. Miss Malika, Zulfa Malika. Okay, we move to Mr. Aditya Duta. Maybe Miss Zulfa Malika got trouble with her point. So we go to Mr. Aditya Duta. Aditya Duta Ramadan. Hello, Mr. Aditya. Good morning. No, you cannot connect to Mr. Aditya Ramadan. I don't know where exactly he is because he didn't tune on his video. So to Mr. Laudi Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Please answer what my questions. What language means? I mean, what language
sir?
means?
I'm sorry, sir. Can you repeat it?
What language means? Do you hear my word? Could you hear my word? Bisa dengar nggak suara saya?
Agak
What?
agak patah-patah, sir. Tunggu.
Agak patah-patah ya. Berarti that's my signal or your signal?
Ini.
Oh, this your signal maybe. Okay, good to Miss. What language means? What language mean? If you cannot answer by your voice, you can write in the chat, in room chat. You can write in the room chat what language means. Just to make sure that you understand. That you understand our meeting, our last meeting. Okay, from Mr. Muhammad Laudi Muhammad Osama. He said that language is human skill to communicate each other. All right, that's good. That's good enough. What about Mr. Gizi Alvarizi? Thank you, Mr. Laudi Muhammad. Or about what do you think about Mr. Laudi Muhammad, Mr. Gizi Alvarizi?
Bisa diulangi lagi, Mister? Suaranya agak putus-putus.
Okay. Mr. Laudi said that language is human skill to communicate each other or each human. What do you think about Mr. Laudi Muhammad answers?
I think is Laudi Muhammad good for language to communication each other. And my aim language to education.
Language to education. Yeah, do you mean what you mean is language for education, right? Language for education or to educate another persons or a child or anyone else who want to educate, right? Maksudnya bahasa itu adalah pendidikan. That's what you mean, right? Aditya Duta Ramadan. Language is the ability to process by humans to communicate with other humans using signs, for example, words or movement and movements. Okay, that's good enough, Mr. Aditya Duta Ramadan, Mr. Laudi Muhammad. Now we go to another questions. We go to Mr. Asberg. Where is Mr. Asberg? Thank you, Mr. Gazi Alfariji. Mr. Asberg, mana sih Mr. Asberg tadi? Nurlaila Hilda, please. Can you show me yourself? Nurlaila Hilda. Okay, Mr. Asberg first. Mr. Asberg Nahumaruri. Lagi ada tamu. Okay, that's good. That's not good. You're in the class, but you got your. Okay, we go to Mr. Miss Novitasari. Miss Novitasari. Or Muhammad Fahrul, please, Muhammad Fahrul. Hello. Anybody home? Muhammad Fahrul, please.
Sorry, sir. I want to answer.
All right, Muhammad Fahrul.
Language, means of reading or a means of communicating.
Okay, that's good enough. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad Fahrul. So, but I have one question for you, children. What do you think about business English? What is business English itself? I already explained it to business English. What do you think about business English? We already learned in the last meeting that business English is blah blah blah, and local language is blah blah blah. We already learned about it. So what do you think about what is business English itself? Do you remember? Did you remember?
I forget.
So you forget, right? Okay, thank you. But I'll remember next time. I'll remember you. I'll remind you next time. So we go to Miss Berli. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad Fahro. We go to Miss Kamalia Mardia. KM, Kamalia Mardia. So we,
Yes.
okay, Miss Kamalia Mardia. Okay, what is the differences? What is the difference between formal language and informal language?
For formal language, usually using for in business. For informal language, using to family and a person uses in relax.
All right. Thank you, Miss Kamalia Mardia. That's good answer. So you still remember what we learned in the last meeting, that business English or formal language. So Mr. siapa tadi tuh? He forget that what is business English itself. So business English is a formal language. Business English is a formal language that we use in professional situations. For example, in negotiations your business and introduce your business to another person, to another partner. Introduce yourself, introduce your business course maybe. That's business English. And usually business English used in your work situations, okay, work situation or in the classroom. And also we can use business English in writing a book or book references and another. That's business English. In another word, business English is a formal language. In other word, business English is formal language. So what is local language? Local language is informal language that we can use in relax situations and also in with your family, your friends. Okay, thank you. I think you understand what I mean. Thank you, Miss Kamalia Murdia. So I think enough for our recalling our last meeting. So today we're gonna learn about writing effective sentence. Nah, ya. Writing effective sentence. Writing effective sentence. Jadi today we are gonna learn how to write an effective sentence in this meeting. So what is writing effective sentence? There are 4 outlines here. The first one, what writing effective sentence, and the questions are 3. What is the sentence core? And how do part of speech works? And what is a sentence? Nah, dari 3 pertanyaan ini, from these 3 questions, we're gonna learn these 3 part of effective sentence. The first one is the sentence course. And then the second one is part of speech itself. What are part of speech? And the next one is what is a sentence? Nah. So the first one, what is the sentence core? Okay, this is the objective of our lessons today. The first one is to identify the sentence core, the subject and verb. First one is identify the sentence core, the subject and verb. And the second one, recognize the various parts of speech. Second one, and the third one is to know the difference between action verb and state of being verbs. And the fourth one is to recognize the main pronoun case, subjective, objective, possessive, and reflexive. And the fifth one, identify coordinating, subordinating, and adverbial conjunctions. The sixth one is to know the difference between a sentence a fragment, and run on. And the seventh one is tune fragment and run on into correctly written sentences. Or lessons. So what is the sentence? What is the sentence core? Apa sih maksudnya sentence core itu? Ada yang tahu? Anybody knows what is sentence core means? What is core means? Core. What is the sentence core? Anybody knows what is the sentence? What is core means? The meaning of core, actually, what I mean is, sangat tahu. Mr. Laude, do you understand? Do you know what core means? Okay, core means inti ya, inti. Apa sih inti? What is the sentence core? Apa sih inti kalimat itu? Apa sih? Itu. So, what is the inti of the kalimat itself? Nah, intinya adalah consist of its subjects and verb. Apa nih? Ini inti kalimat, sir. Ide pokok Zulfa Malika, inti kalimat, sir. That's good. Thank you. Consist of its subject and verb. Jadi inti kalimat itu, sebuah kalimat itu, kalimat always have subject and verb. Ya, it is the powerhouse of the sentence. Ini intinya ya, intinya dari sebuah kalimat itu harus pasti ada subjek dan verb. Kalau sudah nggak ada subjek dan verb, artinya itu bukan sebuah kalimat. Kalau cuma subjek saja, itu bukan kalimat, tapi cuma that's word. Atau cuma verb saja, itu only word. Nah, ya kan? Atau cuma apa namanya? Adverb sama noun misalnya. Itu cuma frasa, ya kan? Kayak gitu. Jadi untuk mengidentify sebuah kalimat itu, untuk mengidentify sentence, untuk mengidentifikasi or to identify it means the sentence core should identify the verb. Jadi kalau kita ingin tahu inti dari sebuah kalimat itu, kita harus lihat verbnya. So we have to see the verb in the sentences. That's the sentence core of the sentence. Ya, jadi kita harus tahu tuh. Kita harus bisa lihat ketika orang berbicara, when I say to you, when I talk to you, so you have to understand, so you have to identify the verb from the sentence that I already said to you. Ya, jadi ketika saya berbicara dan perkataan saya bisa dikatakan sebuah kalimat, kamu harus lihat dulu ada enggak di dalam perkataan saya tersebut sebuah kata kerjanya. When I talk to you, ketika saya berbicara dengan kamu, tuh, you have to teliti atau mengidentifikasi apa yang itu. Misalnya kata perintah atau kalimat perintah misalnya. Ada enggak di situ kata kerjanya? Kalau nggak ada kerjanya, berarti ya enggak perlu kamu lakukan. Misalnya, can you turn on your video? Can you turn on your video? Ada nggak di situ kalimat kata kerjanya? Ada nggak? Can you turn on the video? Misalnya. Ada nggak di situ kalimat ada kata kerjanya nggak?
Ada, sir. Turn on. Turn on.
Ada kan? Apa?
Turn on.
Turn on. Turn on. Artinya apa? So we have to turn on your video. You have to turn on your video karena itu kata perintah atau kata suruhan. Bahwasanya kamu harus menyalakan. Atau kamu, could you please turn on your video? Bisa nggak sih? Bisa minta tolong nggak sih? Nyalain videonya. That's the sentence course. In the sentence course, to identify the sentence course, so you have to identify the verb first. Kata kerjanya dulu ya. Untuk mengidentifikasi sentence course, jadi harus kita identifikasi, kita cari verbnya dahulu. Okay, now we go to the next slide. The verb as predicate. Kalau kata orang Indonesia kan predikat, ya kan? As we know that verb also predicate, but in the English itself, the verb as predicate. Predicate is from English itself, ya. Predicate is English language. Jadi bahasa Indonesia predikat itu kata serapan daripada bahasa Inggris, sebenarnya begitu. Predicate. The verb as predicate. Okay, the predicate of sentence express something about its subject. Do you understand this sentence? The predicate of sentence expresses something about its subject. Oke, Miss. Siapa kita mau tanya siapa? Go to Mr. Wahyu Kurniawan. Ayo. Central con is intended only consists of the core of the subject and the core of the predicate. Aditya Dutta Ramadan. Okay, that's good. Wahyu Kurniawan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes. Mr. Wahyu. Okay, can you translate this sentence? I'm so sorry I got trouble actually. Ya maaf ya, sorry to say. I trouble with my signal was lost. My signal was lost. So that's I got in trouble. Okay, we go to the next slide. The predicate of sentence express something about its subject. Jadi maksudnya di sini adalah predikat. Predikat daripada sebuah kalimat itu mengekspresikan subjek mereka itu sendiri. Apa aja subjeknya sih? Jadi menjelaskan subjeknya. That's the predicate. So apa bedanya predikat dan verb? Ya, verb is predikat. Gak ada bedanya. Verb is predicate. Bedanya hanya nama saja. Apa? To make it simple in grammatically. Jadi untuk membuat simple kata predikat, kalau kata orang Inggris, predicate is terlalu rumit gitu. Kata-katanya terlalu rumit, so that they make it simple. That predicate is a verb, kata kerja. Kayak gitu aja. Nih, the complete predicate consists of ada apa aja? Ada verb, ada kata kerja, ada objek, ada subjek, ada objek, ya. Ada modifiers or complements of the verb. Jadi ada pelengkap kata kerjanya itu. Kayak gitu, ya. The meetings run well. Kan? Well-nya itu pelengkap gitu. Kayak gitu. Oke, kami di sini ya. The verb of sentence officially known as the simple predicate. Nah, tuh di sini tuh dibilang the verb of a sentence is officially known as the simple predicate. Jadi biasanya memang biasa dikenal kalau apa simple predicate apa verb itu sebenarnya itu dikenalnya sebenarnya mah simple predicate. Tapi karena terlalu panjang simple predicate, that's why they make it simple as only a verb kayak gitu ya. Jadi makanya judulnya the verb as a predicate. Kata apa the verb itu sebagai predikat katanya di sini kan. Artinya kan sama aja verb sama predikat, that's one word actually, one meaning actually. Oke. Sampai sini paham ya. Sir Ahmad Baharu, Laude, and others, and other friends. I think you understand the verb as predicate. So we go to the next slide. A verb is an action word. In an action word. Jadi verb itu adalah action word. Action verb are dynamic. Jadi action verb itu dinamis. Kenapa? Why? Nih jawabannya di sini. Jawabannya ada di sini. They transfers. Why? Because they transfer an action from the subject to the object. Ya, from the subject to the object by introducing events and referring to something that's happened. Jadi maksudnya, kenapa disebut action verb itu dinamis? Itu dikarenakan mereka action verb itu mentransfer atau menceritakan sebuah event dari subjek ke objeknya kayak gitu. Dia menjelaskan subjeknya, terus apa yang dilakukan subjeknya itu objeknya kayak gitu. So, he write book, contohnya he write a book. He write a book. Write-nya itu apa? Kata kerja kan? Write-nya itu kata kerja. Write-nya itu yang siapa yang menulis? He yang menulis. Apa yang dia tulis? a book. Nah, dari verb itu, dari kata kerja itu menjelaskan subjeknya, dari subjeknya menjelaskan objeknya. Apa sih objeknya itu? Apa yang dilakukan? Ya kan? Apa yang dia tulis kayak gitu. Could you understand what I mean? Ya. Dinamis maksudnya itu dia menjelaskan subject to the object, ya. Tentang apa? Tentang events, tentang kejadian atau sesuatu yang terjadi pada saat itu. Kayak gitu. He write the book. He bring me a pen. Or he gives me a handphone. He gives me a handphone. Ya, he gives me a handphone. Jadi apa? Give-nya memberi. Apa yang dia beri? Siapa yang memberi? Dia. Dia siapa? Ya laki-laki. Dia laki-laki kan he. Kalau she dia perempuan misalnya kayak gitu. Atau langsung namanya. Misalnya Soleha gives me a phone. It can be like that. Ya. Soleha gives me a phone. Atau Laude Muhammad gives me a book. Laude Muhammad gives me a bag. Bisa kayak gitu. Wahyu Kurniawan gives me a shoes. Bisa kayak gitu. Jadi apa? Sudah dijelaskan tadi bahwasanya verb itu menjelaskan subjeknya dan subjeknya mentransfer kepada objeknya apa yang terjadi pada saat itu, apa yang terjadi, sebuah kejadian pada saat itu atau hal-hal yang lainnya kayak gitu. Paham ya sampai sini ya? So, the next one, examples nih. Mel chaired the meeting. Mel chaired the meeting. Apa artinya chaired? Anyone knows what is chaired means? Chaired means memimpin ya, mengetuai. Memimpin. Kalau aslinya kan ketua, chair. So, kalau chaired ada ide di belakangnya itu jadinya memimpin. Mel or misalnya Mr. Baharu shared the meeting of the class maybe. Chair here, memimpin here. Chair here, memimpin. Siapa yang memimpin? Siapa yang memimpin? Kita kembalikan ke subjeknya. Siapa subjeknya? Mr. Baharu. Ya kan? Who is the subject? Mr. Baharu. What he's doing? What his chair? Misalnya, apa yang dia pimpin? Kita lari ke objeknya. The meeting. Kayak gitu ya. Mel chaired the meeting. Jadi dia memimpin. Siapa yang memimpin? Melnya. Apa yang dia pimpin? The meetingnya. Kayak gitu. I think I got it right. That's easy actually. Okay, next. Nah, sama seperti contoh yang kedua ini. The second example is same as the first example actually. Faranda manage the program, the course program maybe. Nah, Faranda manage here is a verb, right? Verb. Apa yang dia manage? What he's doing? Manage. Siapa sih yang manage pertama? Faranda. Apa yang dia manage? The program. We go back to the program, to the object. Itu that action verb are dynamic because they transfer an action from the subject to the object by introducing events and referring to something that happens. Okay, next. Next one is action verb. Action verb itu do not always need to be followed by an object. Ya, action verb itu nggak selalu diikuti oleh objek. Ya, nggak selalu ada objeknya. Emang kalau dibilang sempurnanya apa gitu ya? Mas sempurnanya mah dia harus pakai objek. Tapi we cannot say that kalau tanpa objek, if the sentence without an object is not a sentence, ya. We cannot say that if a sentence there is no object is not a sentence. Sentence mean there consists of subject and verb, ya. Jadi kita hanya cuma ingat itu saja, subjek dan verb. Kalau ada subjek dan verb saja, so sometimes we don't need an object. Sentence do not need an object, doesn't need an object. Ya, karena kalau kita lihat dari definisinya tadi, sentence adalah yang mengandung definisi subjek dan verb saja, maka di sini action verb do not always need to be followed by an object. Nah, they can sometimes be followed by an adverb, bisa di-follow dengan adverb that modifies the verb. Jadi sometimes juga bisa diikuti dengan oleh adverb, ya, yang mana menjelaskan verbnya in the following sentence. Contoh, kita lihat contohnya di bawah ini. Nah, the systems run well. Nggak ada objeknya nih. The system subjeknya, run itu verbnya, well itu adverb. Apa itu adverb? What the meaning of an adverb? Kata keterangan ya, kata keterangan ya. Run well. The system run well. Kalau bahasa Indonesianya sistemnya berjalan dengan baik, ya kan? Berjalan dengan baik. Jalan dengan baik. The system run well. Jadi nggak ada objeknya di sini, nggak ada objeknya. Pada kita. Melissa speaks quietly. Quietly. Melissa speaks quietly. Melissa subject, speaks verb, quietly adverb. Kayak gitu. Quietly means apa namanya itu? Pelan-pelan. Bicara pelan-pelan. Alon-alon, kalau kata orang Jawa mah alon-alon. That's quietly means. So, in addition, in other words, a sentence can be complete even when the verb doesn't have an object or modifier. Jadi pada intinya, in addition, a sentence, sebuah kalimat can be complete, dapat komplit, dapat sempurna, dapat lengkap, bisa lengkap, even when the verb, walaupun ketika kata kerjanya doesn't have an object and or modifier. Jadi dapat disimpulkan, we can conclude that a sentence can be complete even if they do not have an object or modifier. Ya, bisa berdiri sendiri. Yang penting ada subjek dan verb saja udah. Di sometimes ya. Jadi enggak selalu. Sometimes, kadang-kadang they do not an object, they do not need an object or modifier. Mereka nggak perlu objek ataupun kata penjelas lainnya kayak gitu. Ya. Paham sampai sini ya? Kalau paham mengangguk. Ada yang nggak paham? Kalau ada yang nggak paham, silakan bertanya, nggak usah malu-malu. Kalau malu-malu, if you are shy, you will go stuck in the street. Ya, akan sesat di jalan nanti, nggak bisa kemana-mana kalau nggak tahu. Ini intinya dari bahasa Inggris ini. Pertama itu sentence itu ya, subject, verb, objek itu intinya, basicnya. Ya, paham sampai sini, oke? So we go to the next slide. For example nih, Bob arrived. Tadi saya bilang kan, an addition a sentence can be complete even the verb and object doesn't have an object or modifier. Jadi ketika sentence itu bisa sempurna, bisa lengkap apabila bila tidak memiliki objek dan atau modifier. Ini contohnya, Bob arrived. Mr. Duta arrived. Nggak perlu pakai objek. Penting Mr. Duta arrived. Sampai. Dia sudah sampai gitu. Mr. Duta sudah sampai gitu. Itu orang sudah paham. Your partner will understand what you said. That Mr. Duta already arrived. Where he arrived, kalau bisa di rumahnya, can be in his office or in his campus, can be both arrived. Mr. Duta arrived atau Mr. Erlangga arrived, itu bisa jadi. Ya, jadi cuma ada subjek, Bob subjek, arrived is verb. Nggak ada objek atau modifier. Cukup sampai di situ aja. So we go to the next example. Nah, Ross left. Ross left. Ross left. Wahyu Kurniawan left. Misalnya kayak gitu. Itu maksudnya apa? Maksudnya sometimes the action word, action verb or a sentence sometimes they need an object and sometimes they do not need an object, or sometimes they need a modifier but sometimes they do not need a modifier, kayak gitu. Kadang-kadang saja. Jadi kita ngelihat situasinya bagaimana, kayak begitu. Oke. Oke. Oke, masih di dalam we still explain in the verb of as predicate, but here verb, but the explanation is verb tells time by changing form. Jadi verb itu menjelaskan waktu dan formnya itu bisa berganti tergantung waktunya kapan. Mau sekarang, akan datang, atau lampau. Itu bisa disebut dengan tenses, ya, waktunya. Jadi verb tells time by changing form. Jadi kalau verb mau menunjukkan waktu, maka dia harus mengganti waktunya. Mau yang sekarang, yang sudah lampau, atau yang akan datang, itu dia harus merubah formnya. Kayak gitu ya. Jadi, the main goal is to learn how to identify verbs within a sentence. Tapi tujuan utama kita di sini yang main goalnya itu to learn how to identify the verb within a sentence. Jadi bagaimana sih kita mengidentifikasi verb di antara kalimat itu. Jadi kita harus melihatnya. Kalau ada bilang ini sebuah kalimat nih ya, benar nggak? Coba kita cek ada verbnya nggak. Kalau ada verbnya berarti dia kalimat. If the sentence has a verb, so the words can be a sentence. But if the sentence doesn't have a verb, so it cannot be said that the sentence is a sentence. Jadi nggak bisa kita katakan kalau sebuah kalimat nggak ada verb, maka kita tidak bisa katakan itu sebuah kalimat. Ya, paham sampai sini ya? Nah, which one the word are verb, which one of the word are... di sini saya mau mau ajak teman-teman berpikir ya. I want to ask you to think. Untuk berpikir biar nggak ngantuk. Untuk berpikir which one, kalau dilihat dari table, from this table you can see from this table there are how many words here? There are some words here. There are speak, sing, browse, street, plant, drive, type, tree, write, watch. Here I want to ask you to choose which one the words are verb and which one the words are noun. Kata benda. Mana sih dari verb ini, dari kata-kata ini yang kata kerja? Nanti tulis di chat, nanti saya akan screenshot. Tulis di chat, room chat. I give you 5 minutes ya, just 5 minutes to discuss to think which one from those words are the verb and which one from those words are the noun, kata benda. Okay, I give you 5 minutes and don't forget to write your name and don't forget to write your name and your class in your prodi, I mean.
Sir, all of them.
Yeah, all of them. Just word. Which one the words are verb and which one the words are noun. I give you 5 minutes. Oh, it's running low, yeah. Oke guys, begini saja, nanti tulis di apa namanya itu di Word, di apa namanya itu, iya di Word, tulis di Word, habis itu kirim ke WA aja, ya, tulis di Word, habis itu kirim ke grup WA langsung aja, nggak usah di room chat, agak susah. Tulis di anu saja, tulis di Word saja, di Word, di file, in the form of file, and directly sends to WhatsApp group. So you got 4 minutes.
Pak, maaf Pak, ini maksudnya disuruh ngapain ya Pak?
Ini siapa yang bertanya?
Ini saya Pak. Erlangga.
Oh, Erlangga. Mas Erlangga, so di sini Mas harus memilih dari beberapa kalimat ini nih, dari kata-kata ini maksud saya. Mana yang kata kerjanya dan mana yang kata bendanya. Habis kalau itu tulis di Word, di file, habis itu kirim ke grup WA.
Kalau di
gitu ya, hanya kalau di mana?
Kalau di speak aja boleh nggak Pak? Maksudnya ini ditulis ya Pak jadinya?
Iya ditulis.
Kalau langsung di speaking aja boleh Pak?
So, no, it's not what I want. This is not what I want. I want you to write. This is your activity. This is your activity. Activity, which means writing, think and writing here.
Oke, baik. Terima kasih, Pak.
Okay. You're welcome. Sudah? Right. Don't forget to screenshot if you haven't. Don't forget to screenshot this with these words. And then if you finish, please send to WA group. So we go to the next explanations. To the next lessons. I mean. Nah, next one is compound verbs. Okay. Compound verbs. A compound verb consists of two or more verbs are relating to the same subject. Jadi kalau compound verbs itu intinya mah di dalam satu kalimat itu ada dua verb atau lebih, ya. Dalam sebuah kalimat diikuti oleh dua atau tiga verb. In other words, one subject is followed by two or more verbs that create spread length to about the subject. Jadi dua atau tiga verb tersebut itu create spread length to about the subject. One subject itu satu subjek diikuti oleh dua atau tiga verbs kayak gitu. Kita lihat contohnya di bawah ini. Example. Rita arrived at the meeting by 9 a.m. and Rita began speaking to the director. Rita arrived at the meeting by 9 a.m. and Rita began speaking to the director. Here, arrive, one verb, and began and speaking here. Ada tiga. Tapi larinya kemana? Larinya ke sini. Larinya ke Rita juga kayak gitu. Larinya ke subjek. Maksudnya one subject is followed by two or more verb that creates spread length of talk about the subject. Itu ya. Habis itu your invoice has been updated by our accountant and is enclosed. Your invoice has been updated. Has been updated. That 3. That's one apa itu? That's 3 kata kerja ya. Has been updated and is enclosed. Nah, is enclosed. Tapi larinya kemana? Larinya juga ke invoice itu. Invoice-nya itu subjeknya. Jadi nggak apa-apa. Kayak gitu ya. Tapi harus ada conjunction ya. Kalau nggak ada conjunction, ini conjunction-nya and dan sebuah kalimat harus ada conjunction-nya untuk yang ada verb-nya 2 atau 3 kayak gitu ya. Kenapa? Karena kalau dalam satu kalimat satu kalimat saja, maka nggak ada kata kerja lebih dari satu. Ini harus ada conjunction-nya. Apabila jadi ada pemisahnya gitu. Rita arrived at the meeting. Ya, kalau cuma Rita arrived at the meeting, titik kayak gitu, nggak ada n, maka nggak bisa. Ada kata kerja lain selain arrive itu sendiri. Ya, oke. Tips for identify the verb tuh. Pertama tuh find helping verb. Ada verb helping verb itu bisa dibilang juga auxiliary verb. Ada am, is, are, was, were, have, has, have had, do, does, did. Itu auxiliary verb ya, paham di sini. Nah, kalau untuk mengidentifikasinya juga kita juga harus cari will. Kita cari kata will, bukan will nama orang ya, tapi will yang ingin gitu, kata ingin kayak gitu. I will identify, negotiate to the terms. I will negotiate. Nah, I will itu biasanya diikuti oleh verb. Nah, I will definitely negotiate. Nah, negotiate-nya ini nih. Negotiate-nya verb. Mary will contact them tomorrow. Mary will contact. Will plus verb 1. Biasanya kayak gitu. Will selalu diikuti oleh verb. Baik kadang dipisahkan oleh adverb atau adjektif, biasa kayak gitu. Nah, kadang kita juga harus menemukan untuk mengidentifikasi kata kerja dalam sebuah kalimat, kita harus cari kata not. Nah, it modifies the verb. Not itu selalu menjelaskan verb. Kayak George doesn't remember. Does not remember. Nah, not-nya tuh remember, not-nya tuh menjelaskan remember-nya itu. Nah, doesn't remember, dia tidak mengingat. Nah, the career hasn't embarked. Nah, career has not embarked. Not-nya menjelaskan embark-nya. Kemudian manager is not available until not is menjelaskan is-nya, tidak ada, tidak bisa, tidak bersedia atau tidak ada hingga pukul 3 PM kayak gitu. Our insurance cannot increase for another year. Kayak gitu ya. Untuk itu jadi ada 3 tips untuk menemukan verb dalam sebuah kalimat itu. Pertama find helping verb, kedua find the word will, the third find the word not. Kayak gitu. Kemudian subject. Simple subject, compound subject di sini. Subjek itu macam-macam, ada simple subject, ada compound subject. Kalau simple subject itu sebagai agen, subject complement atau anticipating subject. Nah, kalau sebagai agen itu biasa seperti kayak gini. Dia banyak orang kayak gitu. Contohnya our team, timnya itu subjeknya itu banyak agen gitu. Welcome the new manager kayak gitu. Kalau subject complement kayak gitu. The cafeteria food. Nah, dan cafeteria food itu is good nih. Subject complement cafeteria foodnya itu subject complementnya. It is a beautiful day. Dia anticipating subject. It itu anticipating subject. Kemudian kalau compound subject itu ada 2 subjeknya di situ. Tom and Jane. Tom and Jane arrive at the meeting together. The new information and the old report are now contained in the pocket. Kayak gitu ya. Nah, kita lanjut ke part of speech. Part of speech di sini. How do part of speech work? The part of speech itu ada verb, noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunctions, and articles. Kalau noun, apa itu noun? Noun is a person, place, or thing. Jadi noun itu adalah orang, ya bisa orang, place, tempat, satu tempat, or thing atau sesuatu. But it also or idea. Bisa juga idea, ide, or thought, or some other intangible item that cannot be seen or felt. Jadi sesuatu yang nggak dapat dilihat, nggak dapat dirasakan, juga such as wine, or love, or compassion, kayak gitu. Itu noun. How to know the word noun? Put the word the in the front of the word. Put the word the in front of the word, maka kita akan tahu dia cocok nggak jadi noun. Contoh, kelas, the class, book, the book, ya, book, kata-kata book, kita taruh the depannya the book, bisa kan contohnya kayak gitu. Phone, the phone, the cell phone, phone, cell phone, dan kata benda lainnya kayak gitu. Kita taruh the, enak dibacanya kayak gitu. Noun can be a verb or adjective. Noun in italic, adjective, boldface tab, verb underscore twice subject underscore once. Oke, kita lihat di sini. Nah, kalau noun in plan, nah kalau plan ini bisa jadi adjective, bisa jadi verb nih. Kita lihat di sini. The plan is green. The plan is green. Plan di sini apa? Nah, italic boldface type. Noun is in italic. The plant stand. Marcia planted. Nah, planted di sini jadinya apa? Jadinya verb ya. Kalau plant di sini, my gift was the plant stand. Plant non italic, in italic bold type. Adjective sebagai adjective bold type. Bold face type. Itu sebagai adjektif kalau my gift was the plant stand. Kayak gitu ya. Jadi noun itu bisa jadi verb, bisa jadi adjektif. Don't forget to browse in the Google. You can see in the Google macam-macam noun that can be verb or adjective, and or you can ask to me via Japri. What kind of verb or adjective that can be, what kind of noun that can be a verb or adjective? This is the next one, the quality of noun. Nah, quality of noun is like kind of noun, macam-macam nouns. Ada proper noun, common nouns, collective nouns, constraint nouns, abstract nouns, count nouns, and non-count nouns. Di sini ada nih, di sini. Kalau proper noun itu the official name of people, place, or things. Jadi apa, nama orang, tempat, atau sesuatu. Kalau common nouns itu general classes of place, object, idea, qualities, itu common nouns. Dan hal lainnya kayak gitu. Itu ya. Kemudian part of speech yang kedua itu adalah kata kerja juga. Ya. Part of speech yang kedua itu kata kerja. We already know what is the verb itself. The verb is predicate ya kan. Tadi kita sudah pelajari di awal. We already learn in the first time in this today. So the verb is the word that explain activity or condition. Jadi verb itu, kata kerja itu adalah word yang mana menjelaskan sebuah aktivitas atau sebuah kondisi, itu adalah verb, kata kerja. Contoh sleep, eat, drink itu aktivitas. Kalau feel, love, understand itu kondisi. Kondisi kalau dia tuh sedang merasakan, mencintai, memahami. Itu ya. Kalau aktivitas itu dia sedang tidur, sedang makan, sedang minum, sedang berjalan, sedang berlari. That's an activity, that's a verb. Nih, ini form of the verb nih. Ada 3 form of the verb. There are 3 forms of the verb. Ada present, ada past, ada participle. Participle dibagi menjadi 3. The present dibagi menjadi 3. The present is divided into 3 forms. The first one is to infinitive, and the second one is bare infinitive, and the third one is additional infinitive. And what about the second form, past? It only has one past tense, And how about participle? The participle, there are two forms, divided into two forms. The first one is past participle, and the second one is present participle. Jadi ada 3, 1, 2. Bukan 2, 1, 2 ya, Wiro Sableng bukan. Tapi ini 3, 1, 2. 3, 1, 2. Present past participle, present ada 3, past ada 1, participle ada 2. Oke? Itu formnya daripada kata kerja. Nih. Nanti PowerPoint-nya nanti saya bisa dilihat di apa namanya? e-learning.its.ac.id. Bisa lihat di situ untuk mempelajari lebih lanjutnya, ya. Don't forget to download it. Jangan lupa download di situ. Ini. Present itu apa aja? To infinitive, to like, to wish, to watch, to look. Kalau like misalnya kalau jadi to infinitive pertama jadi to like, kalau kemudian bare infinitive jadi like saja. Like bare infinitive itu verb 1 ya. Kata kerja 1. Kemudian additional infinitive itu ditambah s atau is. Ditambah s atau is itu like, apa namanya itu additional infinitive. Kalau past biasanya ditambah d atau ed. Pas itu ada past participle, ada present participle. Kalau past participle ditambah d juga. Kalau present participle biasanya juga gerund kayak gitu ya, atau verb ing, liking kayak gitu. Jadi to like, likes, liking kayak gitu. Nanti bisa dilihat nanti ya di PowerPoint ada, bisa dilihat di e-learning.its.ac.id. Saya sudah upload di sana. Nah, kemudian verb as a noun. Jadi verb itu bisa juga jadi noun. Contoh. Example nih. The gerund form of walk is walking. Walk bisa jadi walking. Ya kan? Walk, walking. Gerundnya tuh walking. Dari walk itu kan kata kerja. Nah, walking itu gerund. Gerund itu pastinya jadi noun. Pastinya jadi noun kalau jadi apa namanya itu, kalau posisinya kalau jadi gerund itu, maka dia jadi noun. Ya, contoh nih. The ing form is created by adding ing in the base form of the verb. This ing form of a verb function as a noun and it is called a gerund. Kayak gitu. Jadi kalau di apa namanya itu di verb 1 itu ditambah bila dia di ing form, di apa namanya itu model ingnya, maka dia akan menjadi walking, dan itu bisa dibilang dipanggil gerund. Gerund itu adalah posisinya menjadi noun, itu kata benda. Oke, paham sampai sini ya? Nah, kemudian pronoun. Pronoun itu ada macam-macam di sini ya. There are four items of pronouns. The first one is subjective case. Subjective case is pronouns function as subject or verb. Dia berfungsi sebagai subject of the verb. Biasanya Ayu, Dewi, she, he, it. Ya, Ayu, he, Ayu, Dewi, she, he, it, dan who. Itu subject of verb. Ayu, he, she, it, we, they, who. Kayak gitu. Itu dia berfungsi sebagai subjek daripada verb, kayak gitu, kata kerja. Kemudian ada objective case. Nah, dia itu posisinya sebagai objek ya, of propositions biasanya. Biasanya me, you, him, her, it, us, them, whom. Itu biasanya dia objek kayak gitu. Do you love me? Nah, me-nya itu kan objek kan? Do you love me? Could you marry me? Maukah kau menikahiku? Ah, itu kan me-nya itu jadi objek ya, jadi objective case. Itu ya. Kemudian possessive case, my, perasaan memiliki itu my, mine, you are mine, you are mine. Kamu milikku. And mine, and me is yours. And me is yours. Kamu, aku milikmu. Gitu. The phone is mine. The phone is mine. The laptop is mine. Itu possessive case. Kemudian ada reflexive case. Reflexive case itu pronouns refer back to subject noun, subject pronoun. Jadi dia tuh kembali kepada subjective pronounnya. Subjective pronoun itu apa? I, you, he, she, it itu menjadi myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourself, yourself, and themselves kayak gitu. Ada macam-macam ya. Nih contohnya di sini. Nanti bisa dilihat ya. The range limit. Saya sudah kasih contoh yang lebih simpel tadi kan. Ini yang agak rumit sedikit. The range limiting I decided to tense. The range limiting I decided to tense. D-nya apa? Subjective case. I-nya juga subjective case. Ayu, they, we, see, it, who itu. Objective case kayak gitu. Nah, bisa kayak gini. Bob hand me. Me-nya ada her-nya. And me-nya di sini. My possessive case ada my-nya di sini. Ada D-nya. Kalau untuk reflexive case seperti tadi kita myself, yourself, theirself itu ada myself-nya di kalimatnya itu. I do the proposal myself. I will do the proposal myself. You can do the other project yourself. Jadi kamu bisa melakukannya dengan diri kamu sendiri. I will do the proposal myself. Saya akan mengerjakan proposal saya akan kerjakan sendiri proposalnya. I will do the proposal myself. Saya akan kerjakan sendiri proposalnya. You can do the other project yourself. Kamu bisa mengerjakan project lain dengan diri kamu sendiri kayak gitu. Kamu bisa mengerjakan dengan diri kamu sendiri project lainnya kayak gitu. Kemudian ada preposisi, prepositions. Nah, prepositions di sini show the relationship of noun or pronoun to some other word in the sentence. Prepositions are go between and result of the present phrase having a noun or pronoun as their object. Jadi preposition itu menunjukkan hubungan antara noun atau pronoun kepada dengan kata lainnya di dalam sebuah kalimat. Contoh, kalau propositionsnya itu kan ada about, above, for, among, at, before, behind, between, and with, ya kan? Kemudian kalau jadi propositional phrase, dia menunjukkan hubungannya dengan kata lainnya kayak gitu ya. Contoh, about an hour. Hour ini apa? Hour ini apa? Waktu ya kan? Jam ya kan? Artinya dia benda. Jadi about ini proposisi berhubungan dengan an hour kayak gitu. Above the door. Above-nya ini proposisi, the door-nya ini noun. Jadi ada hubungannya above the door, di atas pintu. Ada hubungannya satu sama lain kayak gitu. At the meeting, at the class, misalnya kayak gitu. He is living in the class. Dia sedang tidur di kelas. He is sleeping in the class. Kayak gitu. Bisa kayak gitu ya. Kemudian ada conjunction ya. Jadi nanti bisa dilihat di sini ya. Ada preposisi. There were about, above, for, among, at, before, behind, between, and with. Dan proposisi itu menunjukkan hubungannya antara baik noun ataupun pronoun dengan kata lainnya di dalam sebuah kalimat atau sebuah phrase, frasa, bisa juga kayak gitu. Kemudian bagian daripada part of speech itu ada conjunction. Nih, conjunction ini make connection showing relationship and building bridge between idea. Jadi conjunction itu membuat sebuah koneksi, showing relationship, menunjukkan sebuah hubungan, and building bridge between idea. Dan dia itu membuat membuat hubungan antara satu idea dengan idea lainnya, antara satu kalimat dengan kalimat lainnya. Jadi ada hubungannya. Contohnya kategorinya ada coordinating conjunction, subordinating conjunction, ada adverbial conjunction. Jadi kategorinya itu ada 3 di sini ya. Coordinating itu apa? And, but, or, for, nor, so, yet. Itu biasa dengar itu. Subordinating if, when, as, although, because, as, none itu. Dan adverbial itu therefore, hence, in summary, that is, furthermore, however, those, dan lain-lain. Ya. Oke, kita lihat contohnya. Coordinating conjunction contohnya. Angga keeps the lights on. Ya, Angga keep the lights on. Kenapa keep the lights on? For he is afraid of sleeping in the dark. Nah, for di sini maknanya because atau karena. For he is afraid itu bagian daripada coordinating conjunction. Dia tetap menyalakan lampu karena dia takut tidur dalam kegelapan kayak gitu. Dia takut gelap, kalau tidur gelap nggak mau dia takut. For he is afraid for sleeping in the dark. My sister live in South Sulawesi and my brother live in North Sulawesi. Kayak gitu. Ada N itu yang memisahkannya. Kemudian Ali doesn't enjoy learning English nor does he enjoy football. Nor itu. Muhammad Imran enjoys learning English, but he doesn't enjoy playing football. But di sini menjadi coordinating conjunction. Nih, subordinating conjunction. Subordinating conjunction also called subordinator are conjunction that introduce a sentence. Jadi dia itu conjunction yang mengenalkan sebuah kalimat kayak gitu ya. The conjunctions of is used as the verb clause which cannot stand on their own without a sentence holding it. Jadi subordinating conjunctions itu adalah sebuah kalimat yang tidak dapat berdiri sendiri atau dependent clause. Biasanya seperti itu. Because he was sleepy, because-nya di sini adalah subordinating conjunction. Because he was sleepy, dikarenakan dia sangat ngantuk. Dikarenakan dia sangat ngantuk, koma kayak gitu. Maka jika tidak ada went to bed, maka dia tidak bisa juga disebutkan kalimat. Maka tidak berfungsi dia. Jadi harus ada kalimat lainnya. He went to bed, koma, he went to bed. So he went because he was sleepy, so he went to bed. Dia pergi ke tempat tidur. He went to bed because he was sleepy kayak gitu. Now that the semester is over, I'm going to go my hometown. She is raining, I can't go to the campus. Since-nya itu kan subordinating conjunction, because subordinating conjunction. Itu ya. Jadi paham ya. Jadi subordinating conjunction itu adalah subordinator yang mengenalkan sebuah kalimat ya, menjelaskan sebuah kalimat itu. Jadi dia selalu berada di awal, biasanya seperti itu. Now that, because, since itu selalu berada di awal kalimat. Nah, adverbial conjunction seperti ini. Adverbial conjunction, the word is distinguished into two, namely as conjunction and also adverb. Dia membedakan antara kata conjunction dan juga adverb. This prove that the word adverbial conjunction has two function. Dia mempunyai dua makna, yaitu pertama dia sebagai adverb dan juga yang kedua sebagai koneksi antara dua klausa, membuat koneksi antara dua klausa into logical compounds. Jadi sentence. Jadi ada dua kalimat gitu, ada dua kalimat tapi akan dijadikan satu kalimat. Kita contoh, the rich sleep on the warm and comfortable bed, meanwhile the poor slept on the damp and cold sidewalk. Nih, the rich sleep on the warm and comfortable bed, ini satu kalimat dipisahkan oleh meanwhile. Meanwhile, sedangkan the poor yang miskin sleep on the damp and cold sidewalk kayak gitu. Jadi ada dua kalimat dipisahkan oleh meanwhile. Since juga bisa, since my family moved into the city 2 months ago, I have known many people. Kalau tanpa since, jadi I have known many people nggak bisa. Jadi harus ada since-nya dahulu. Jadi itu adalah yang memisahkan. Itu adverbial conjunction namanya itu. Kemudian ada adjective dan adverb. Adjective and adverb are both modifier, which mean they describe other word. Adjective dan adverb itu adalah kata penjelas, di mana mereka menjelaskan kata-kata lainnya. Kalau adjektif itu menjelaskan noun dan pronouns. Kalau adverb itu menjelaskan apa? Menjelaskan adjektif dan juga adverb. Kayak gitu ya. Jadi ada beberapa some adverb itu biasanya ditambah dengan ly. They usually form by adding ly. That are formed by adding ly to an adjective gitu. Itu kalau adverb. Dari adjektif ke adverb ditambah ly. Contoh dari adjektif rapid kemudian ke adverb menjadi rapidly. Bright jadi brightly. Loud jadi loudly kayak gitu. A bright light is shining. A bright light is shining. Kalau jadi adverb, the light is shining brightly kayak gitu. Articles. Nah, kita ada articles di sini, definite and indefinite. Articles a and there are 3 articles that modify nouns. A, E1, N2, D3 itu adalah 3 artikel yang menjelaskan nouns. E and N refer to a thing or person in general. Jadi E dan N-nya itu refer kembali menjelaskan kepada suatu hal atau seseorang. Nah, dan kemudian those are called indefinite article. E dan N itu indefinite article dikarenakan menjelaskan sesuatu atau seseorang kayak gitu. Use before a word that begins with consonant sound or long U sounds. Short words unique. Nah, unique itu kan unique menjelaskan apa? Sesuatu kan unique. He every day. Dia memakai dasi yang unik setiap hari kayak gitu. Menjelaskan dasi, menjelaskan sesuatu. Use before the word that begins with a vowel, even a vowel sound even if that word begins with consonant such as the sound an or kayak gitu. Stephanie prefer an apple. An NBC, n itu kan apa namanya itu? Such as is part of the sounds an or An NBC reporter provided the information. Kayak gitu. Kemudian the refers to a specific thing or person and it's just called a definite articles. Kayak gitu ya. Kalau definite article itu refer to specific things ya. Pada sesuatu yang lebih spesifik, yang lebih jelas. Dan itu dibilang definite articles. Nah, sesuatu yang lebih jelas contohnya apa? Like the movie, the glass, the room, the mouse, the book, the laptop. Tuh. Itu sesuatu yang lebih jelas. Josh would like to go to the movie that you suggest. Mr. Papas would prefer the black tea. Nah, itu jelas, lebih jelas. Nah, kita lanjut ke klausa as fragments. A clause is a group of words that contain a subject and verb. Kalau fragment itu ya, suatu kata-kata yang terputus-putus kayak gitu. Satu kalimat yang terputus-putus, jadi nggak lengkap, nggak bisa lengkap itu fragment. Kemudian ada klausa as fragments. Klausa is a group of words that contain a subject and verb. Jadi klausa itu ada grup pada kata-kata di mana mencakup subjek dan verb. A clause is an important grammatical unit. Jadi klausa ini juga sangat penting daripada unit gramatikal. Two basic types of klausa are independent clause dan dependent clause. Their name describe their function and independent clause can stand alone. Independent clause itu bisa berdiri sendiri, independent clause tidak bisa berdiri sendiri, walaupun yang tidak bisa berdiri sendiri itu ada subjek dan verb-nya. Kita lihat contohnya. Kalau independent clause itu ada subjek dan verb, ada objek. Contoh, the meeting was delight. Dia bisa berdiri sendiri walaupun nggak ada kalimat lain setelahnya, titik aja udah. Subjek plus verb plus objek. Itu udah. Kalau dependent clause. Nah, dependent clause a fragment plus need and independent clause. Contoh, Conjunction plus subject plus verb. Nih, kita hilangkan when decided to go lunch. When the meeting was delayed. Ini ya fragment ini. Putus dia di sini. Nah, untuk dia bisa berdiri sendiri, dia masih membutuhkan independent clause. So, they decided to go when the meeting was decided. When the meeting was delayed, we decided to go lunch. Kayak gitu ya. Paham sampai sini? Nah, frasa juga bisa jadi fragment, bisa jadi terputus. Contohnya, nih. Incorrect contohnya, to correct yourself objectively in all situations so that you remain professional. Ini salah, kalimat yang salah, frasa yang salah. Jadi untuk menjadi yang benar, maka you present-nya to present-nya diganti you present. You present yourself. Ini. You present yourself objectively in all situations so that you remain professional. Kayak gitu. Fragment can be also formed when phrase is punctuated as a sentence. Unlike a clause, a phrase doesn't have a subject and verb. A phrase doesn't have a subject and verb. Here along in verb. Jadi dia itu nggak ada subject dan verb. You present yourself. To present yourself objectively in all situations so that you remain professional. Jadi dia ini nggak ada mengandung subjek dan verb. Jadinya jadi salah kayak gitu. Maka harus diganti you present yourself objectively in all situations so that ada kata sambung di sini akan menjadi kalimat yang baik dan benar, ada subjek dan verbnya kayak gitu ya. Jadi apa namanya itu kesimpulannya apa? You now have a clear idea what a sentence is and what a sentence isn't. Oke, now saya mau sampai sini paham teman-teman semua? Halo, masih ada semua?
Ya, Pak.
Saya mau absen. I want to call your name one by one. I want to call your name one by one. Mister, dari anu dulu ya, dari program studi informatika. Erlangga Maulana.
Hadir, Pak. Present.
Present ya. Erlangga Maulana. Hadir hijau. Wait. Terus Rio Riansa.
Present, Pak.
Grasberg Nahamuri.
Present, sir.
Kartika Widyadari Budiman.
Present, sir.
Oke, wait. Muhammad Fahrul.
Present, sir.
Muhammad Fahrul. Alright. Dimas Saiful Aziz. Gak ada keterangan? Dimas Abdul Aziz, Dimas Saiful Aziz.
Pak, Dimas mungkin izin Pak. Kemarin ayahnya baru meninggal.
Oh, innalillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. Semoga diberikan kesabaran. Laudi Muhammad Osama hadir. Rega Audrian Pratama.
Present, sir, Pak.
Wahyu Kurniawan.
Present, Pak.
Rizky Edward Samuel Sitorus. Gak lihat namanya saya dari tadi. Zulfa Malika Amana Erlan Ingkiriwang. Erlan Ingkiriwang. Nothing? Present?
Yes.
Where are you, Mister? Okay. Zulfa Malika Amana.
Present, sir.
Selamat Adriansa. Nothing? Absence? Nurdiana Camelia. Nurdiana, are you there?
Kayaknya keluarga.
Keluar ya.
Iya.
Tadi ada kan ya?
Nggak ada.
Tadi nggak ada dari tadi.
Udah beberapa bulan nggak ada dia.
Oh gitu. Nurdiana Camelia ya. Oke, oke. Wahyu Juprianto Simatupang. Ada yang tahu? Gak ada yang tahu ya. Muhammad Sudi Andriono.
Itu dari awal nggak ada, Pak.
Gak ada dari awal. Oke.
Ada tapi udah jarang masuk itu, Pak.
Oh iya. Nanti kalau ada yang punya kontaknya, dihubungi orangnya kayak gitu ya. Dihubungi temannya. Siapa tahu ada kendala atau apa kayak gitu.
Pak, maaf.
Ya.
Untuk
Ya.
Zulfa Malika Amanah, tadi dia sudah berbicara, Pak. Dia
Siapa?
hadir. Zulfa Malika Amanah.
Kenapa dia?
Dia tadi sudah menjawab hadir, tapi suaranya kekecilan.
Oh begitu. Oke. Zulfa Malika Amana. Kemudian, thank you ya for the information, for the confirmations. Oke, Aditya Duta Ramadan.
Ada, hadir.
Ada ya. Muhammad Reza Pahlepi. Muhammad Reza Pahlepi. Ini kayak Reza Pahlepi yang di YouTuber itu ya.
Sakit Pak dia Pak. Reza
Sakit ya?
Ya
Oh,
Pak.
oke, sakit. Oke, thank you. So we go to program studi teknologi informasi. Ahmad Bahrur Nur.
Present, Mister.
Nana Irmanto.
Present.
Muhammad Gozi A. Muhammad Gozi. Nothing ya? Ada yang tahu Ahmad Baharu tahu nggak? Ahmad Gozi di mana?
Itu hadir, Pak, tapi dia tidak ngomong.
Aduh, berarti nggak ada orangnya itu mah. Orangnya kemana? Ronaldo Immanuel Jelira.
Present, sir.
Alright. Nurlaila Hildayati. Nurlaila Hildayati. Where are you? Nurlaila Hildayati. Nothing. Okay. We go to sistem informasi. Intan Ratnasari.
Present.
Kamalia Mardiah. Present. Firly Adinda Putri Az-Zahra.
Present, sir.
Muhammad Raihan Zulfikar.
Present, sir.
Novita Sari.
Hadir, Pak.
Hadir. Wulandari.
Present.
Aulia Puspa Nabila.
Hadir, Pak.
Enda Fitrianingsi.
Present, sir.
Alright. Alma Lutfi. Almat Lutfi.
Udah keluar, sir.
Oh, udah keluar. Oke. Udah lama ya?
Akhir semester 1 kemarin.
Oh, iya, oke. Thank you ya. So, Muhammad Fahmi?
Hadir, Pak.
Oke, thank you. Oke, thank you for joining our lessons today, our meeting today. I hope you understand what I already explained to you all. Jangan lupa ya, apa namanya itu? Nanti saya akan kasih tugas lain juga, exercise-nya. Untuk second meeting jangan lupa kirimkan ke email yang sudah dikasih tahu kemarin ya. Oke. Sama seperti kemarin, kita setiap minggu, setiap meeting ada tugasnya, karena setiap meeting itu pasti ada nilainya kayak gitu. Baik dari keaktifan, kehadiran, segala macam itu akan dinilai. Jadi sesuai prosedural kita akan nilai semuanya, baik dari kehadiran dan lain-lain. Tugas, terutama itu tugas, oke?
Pak, maaf Pak.
Itu
Nur Laila Hildayati lagi hilang sinyal atau lagi izin kamar mandi mungkin Pak?
Yang mana? Yang untuk prodi apa nih?
Sistem informasi deh kayaknya.
Sistem informasi. Ya, sistem informasi nggak ada nih Laila.
Pak, halo.
Iya, halo.
Kok saya di situ Alfa? Maaf Pak,
Yang mana?
saya Erlaning Kiriwang.
Erla informatika ya?
Iya Pak.
Enggak kok. Wait. Oh iya, tadi nggak ada jawaban tadi soalnya. Sorry.
Iya, nggak apa-apa. Maaf Pak.
Beginilah kondisi kalau kita online, ada beberapa kendala ya memang. Kayak tadi saya kan sinyal hilang kayak gitu kan. Itu that some things always happen in these situations kayak gitu karena online. Maybe next time kita semoga kita bisa ketemu di kampus secara langsung in the real life, face to face gitu ya. Semoga corona ini bisa cepat hilang. Aduh, saya sudah nggak sabar ketemu sama teman-teman semua. Oke, amin
Pak
ya.
Nur Laila hadir Pak itu Pak.
Nur Laila.
Ya,
berapa
sinyalnya ini Pak putus-putus Pak.
Di
Ada yang
sinyal.
connect Pak.
Alright, Nur Laila mana? Sorry ya, sabar. Kita cari dulu. Nur Laila.
Prodi TI.
TI. Oh iya. Oke, berarti TI hadir semua. Oke. Udah nggak ada yang lain lagi? Ada yang mau ngasih tahu kalau teman yang tadi hadir itu tulis Alfa di sini? Nggak ada ya? Jadi sudah jelas tadi yang tugasnya yang sudah saya kasih sudah dikirim ke WA semua?
Sudah.
Activity tadi.
Sudah Pak.
Sudah.
Oke, good. Thank you very much for today.
You're welcome.
I hope you got a good score acting from me. Thank you very much. See you next meeting. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Semangat, keep spirit, keep
Thank you, sir.
spirit. Jangan lupa sarapan semuanya ya.
Oke, thank you, sir.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.